Well, welcome back to the channel. Hi, my name is Mike, and for our woodworking project today is a fence picket project. It takes about one board to do this, and it is 5/8 thick. All right, but the one we're going to make today is not going to be 5/8 thick. It's going to be 1/2 inch thick. So we wanted to kind of do something a little bit different, kind of throw a little twist into it, and get you guys to do some different things with the same project, because we can always do different things. You can stain these, paint these, and there's all kind of stuff with this. So it's a lot of fun just to kind of use your imagination and see what you can come up with. But we're going to make it out of the same board, like I said, but we have the board planed down already. So all we have to do is go to the miter saw and start cutting some of these long boards here. So let's go over here and get started. Okay, first board I'm going to cut down is that real long one, and we're going to cut that down to 16 inches, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Second board's going to be cut down. Let me get my book here. I'll make sure. 11 inches. So this board will be 11 inches long. Okay, we need another board. This board will be cut down to 6 5/8. 6? Yeah, 6 5/8. So I need a 6 5/8. Okay, right there. Alright, let's go ahead and cut the two shelves while we're over here. So we need to cut them shelves into 8 1/2 inches long. And the next one is 5 1/2 inches long. Have to keep those couple separate from these other ones. Okay, I'm going to go over to the table saw, and we're going to cut these down to what is it? I'll have to look at my book. I think it's about 3 1/2 inches wide, the big ones are. So we'll take it with the table saw. We'll go from there. Okay, we have these are going to be the ones in the back. So we're going to set these off to the side. And they need to be, we're going to look off our book over here. So we're going to follow our book, make sure you get the right measurements. Let's go. Oh, shoot. 3 1/2 inches wide. So we got to set our table saw to 3 1/2, or you can go ahead and just cut it 3 1/2 inches long, or wide. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so we need 3 1/2 inches, and we're going to cut every one of these 3 1/2 inches. Okay. Okay, so these are all three. What they're going to do is just going to be, let me move this off to the side so you can see them. It's going to be the big one like this. Okay, and then we'll just go like this right here. Okay, and then we go back over the other saw. We'll cut those 40. We'll cut this into a 45-degree angle. These both to be cut on 45s. Okay, so we'll set this off to the side and go ahead and cut these will be the shelving. So the shelving, instead of make it 3.5 inches, I cut the shelving down to 2.5 inches. I thought it was a little bit better, you know, to have something, you know, stick out where the shelving would, you know, kind of stick out too far, maybe have too much weight on it, since they're only going to be glued and stapled in the back. So let's go ahead and cut it down to 2.5. Here's the 2.5. Both of these. So these can be kind of set off to the side. We don't need to use those. And then we're going to put this back over here. The shelf's 2.5. I better take that with me. Okay, now what we could do with these pieces here, we can make the roof pieces that, you know, that kind of comes up like this. They are 1.25 inches, so we need this about 1.25 inches wide. And you know, if you're not exactly on 1.25 inches, that's fine. I mean, you can probably go 2 inches. You can probably go 1.5 inches wide if you like. This in here right now, the leftover to this would be about 2, or back actually 1 7/8. We're taking 1.25 off of it. So, you know, you can. It's up to you what you want to do, but you can go ahead and make it wider or even shorter. Okay, let's go back over to the miter and we'll cut this stuff up. Let's take this one off of there. We're not going to need that. The two smallest ones, and this is that this is 11 inches here, and this would be what did I call that? I think that's 11 inches. I think. Let me get that. Make sure. Yeah, it's 11 inches, and this one was 6 3/4. Just want to make sure because I'm gonna get ready to cut that board. Now you can go ahead and cut them on 45. So if you like. Oh, too far, too far. Now this one you need to measure the center on this board, because we're going to cut this on a 45 on both ways. So your center should be, I would say, we got 2 and 2.25, 2. Let me see what that would be. Yep, I thought it was 1 3/4. So if you go 1 3/4, 1 3/4 to 1 3/4 this way. Yeah, right there. Make sure I got something I can see. Okay, now we'll just stick these, like I said, they'll go like this. Now you could do it, you can actually do it the other way if you want. If you want to make that shelving go this way, go ahead and do it. I don't see make any difference, but or this way. So maybe your next one will be right here. Just like it. All right, set these offside. Now, what I want to work with is the top pieces, and I tell you, everything falls. I tell you what, it's just when you cut these, you know, especially with miter saw, you got to be careful, because if you cut them and then your saw grabs a hold of it, it'll shoot it back at you. So, you know, try to be careful on that. So what we want to do here on this one, I'm going to take 2 pieces off of this, and they're going to be, I'll say, about 3.5 inches. So let's cut 2 pieces of 3.5 inches. And what I'm going to do is to keep that thing from jumping back. I don't like being real close to that saw. So I'm going to just turn my board around. And what I'm going to cut this on a 45. And then I'm just going to turn it this way. So my hands are really far away from that thing. Okay. And then let's go ahead and go right here. And there's an extra little piece if you're going to make more. So we really didn't use the whole board. You can see it's still there. But okay, that's now it's going to be this piece up here for the top up here. We're going to put it together like this, see? So that's what that's coming out to. All right. Okay, we're here to drill press, and I'm going to measure down about 1 inch, or no, actually let's go further than that. Let's go about 2.5 inches. I would say 2.5 inches would be enough. And then come over here to 1.75 inches. That would be your center. Okay, so that'd be our center. And we're using a Forster bit today, and it's an 1.5 inch Forster bit. Now, you can decide if you want to use a smaller bit. That's fine. Heck, you can go, you know, you can actually go bigger if you want to go bigger. But we're going to use 1.5 inches, or no, yeah, is that 1.5 inches? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's 1.5 inches. That's right. Just make sure. See, I didn't go all the way through, but if you like, go ahead and drill it all the way through. If that's, you know, way you can do it, you know. Board. Okay, we should have everything we need. It's a couple boards, and I'm going to do it the other way. So instead of go, you know, this way, I'm going to build it this way. Okay. Okay, just got to put our 2 little ones here on top. Wrong one. What did I do with it? Okay, what we need to do is measure this. We want to measure up 2 inches. Put another marker over here, 2 inches. And we're going to measure up, I think I went up about 6 inches on that. Let's see. About 6.5. Now this is to the bottom of the shelf, so I want to go about 6.5 inches here. Okay, now we have to kind of flip this thing over and then get these shelves started. A little mark here on the side. Okay, there you go. Now, what I want to do is, I went to, well actually I looked off the line on Amazon, and you can pick up all kind of different little hooks. I mean, these are very expensive. I think I got like 50 of them or something like that for a couple bucks. Yeah, that's the best way to buy them, is buy them, you know, in bulk like that, because if you buy a couple at a time, it's pretty pricey. My drill here. Now these, I just kind of, I guess I just guessed at them where they go. You know, I didn't make too much of a fuss about them. And just kind of place them down here, and just kind of set them where you like to have them. If you want to measure them out, that's fine. Good, measure them out. Okay, here we go. Let's move some of the stuff outside. I only put one screw. They actually call for 2 screws in it, but we're going to put 1 in for right now. Just kind of let you see. This is what we have, is 2 like this. And now this one here, like I said, it's made out of just a regular wood that you buy, the cedar. They're rough, and then this one here is one that's actually been you know, ran through a planer, so it'll be a little smoother. Now you could sand this the same way, or you know, these are actually key hooks, so they're little shelves you put in the house. I do like the smell of the cedar. Cedar is really good to have in a house like that. But if you like, you can always you know, you can always stain or paint these. I stain them. I've stained a cedar lots of times and gave it a little bit of a different color. But if that's something you're interested in to make, I think these would probably sell pretty good. And a little bit of an addition on some of the other things that you would take out and sell. like planters and stuff like that. You kind of throw some other things in there and let people see that you have more than just planters sitting there for sale. You know, give them a choice, give away a choice. So that's what we did today. This is made out of 1/2-inch thick wood. This one here is made out of 5/8, the regular wood, rough cut, and this one here is plain down to, you know, so it can be smooth. So, okay, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe make one for yourself or give one to somebody you care, or somebody you would like to make, you know, be happy, make them happy, or, you know, somebody likes to put a smile on their face. It's always nice to do things like that. I like doing that stuff. I do. We even do gardens. When we do our gardens a year, we plant a little bit extra, and then we always give it to some of the people who maybe don't have it, just to be kind. So if we would all do that, nobody would ever be poor. Believe it or not, everybody would be rich, and we'd have everything we need. That's it for today, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit that like button. I appreciate that. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.